Welcome everyone to the War Thunder game. My name is MrIronrifle, and today's video will be again about the fighters. Well, I'm sorry of not to releasing the video about the bombers, but it's a very hard thing right now to get some good bomber game for the channel, for the YouTube, for all of you guys out there. That's why I did shift my focus to the fighters, and last few days you did probably see me flying a lot of fighters on the stream. But well, let's get to the topic. Fighters. As you can see here with my British Air Force, I do have a lineup from tier 8 up to tier 13, consisting only of the fighters. Well, what you should do when you first get your hands on some plane, some fighter plane? Well, you should go over its stats. Whenever you hover over the aircraft you own, and it's on your crew slot, or whenever you hover over the aircraft in the tech tree, you get the same pop-up that appears, which will tell you few things. Well, first thing you see is the name of the fighter. Well, it's the Spitfire Mark 16, and it's the fighter. Then you get a little picture. Underneath it is the experience bar. That experience bar is filled when you are flying your aircraft, killing the enemy, scoring the experience. Next thing you see, its rank, its reward bonus, and its condition. Well, when you turn off your automatic repairs off, this condition can be changed. It can be from 100% to 0, depending on how damaged your aircraft was in the battle. Next thing, you get your average repair cost. That cost is with the automatic repairs turned on, and of course the time to repair for free. It's 1 day, 21 hours, 20 minutes for me, for that crew. Well, those are not the most important stats for you, for the fighter pilots. The stats that you want to focus is the maximum speed, turn time, and the rate of the climb. Well, takeoff run is also important, but not as important as those three stats I did just mention. Well, let's get them going. Let's get over them. So the first stat you see is the maximum speed. Well, it's close to 600 kilometers here. It's 595 kilometers per hour, and you should notice that at that speed, at the speed of close to 600 kilometers per hour, when you are in the dive, you will start hearing the dive sound, this screaming, well, let's call it screaming banshee sound. And your instructor will start to send the message over your screen to reduce the airspeed, because you might fall apart, or you might lose the control over your aircraft. So keep that in mind. Maximum on height 6,900 meters, maximum altitude of 13,200 meters. Well, those stats are, well, not that important to you. The common mistake that people make with the next stat is the turn time. It's 18.5 seconds. Is that they do think that when they move their mouse to left or to the right, the aircraft will turn in 18.5 seconds. I was making that mistake too, but then I did come across some information about it, and it's actually this turn time is with your rudder. So whenever you press, when you are flying with the arcade type of controls, I'm not saying with the joystick or any other control device, is when you're pressing Q or E on your keyboard. That's the turn time of your aircraft. You will start losing your altitude. You will lose some speed. So it's a good thing when you are landing and you are just going in way too fast to drop some speed by doing the QE thingy, just waving your tail left to right. But yeah, that's it, that's your turn time. Next thing, rate of climb, 26 meters per second. That is pretty important because for most of the fighters, you will be going after the enemy from the higher altitude to the lower, gaining some speed, some energy, as all the pilots call it, and I will call it too from that on. You get some energy, and then you do need to spend some of this energy to get back to the air. And that rate of climb will determine how fast you can climb without losing your airspeed to some point. Well, let's say you are flying at the altitude of 1000 meters, then you're going after your enemy to let's say 500 meters, so half of the way you were up in the sky, and then you pull back. So this 26 meters per second will tell you that you will be traveling at close to well, let's say 300 kilometers per hour, going up at the angle of 25 degrees. Well, I do need to check that information for you because I did check it before, but I forget it. Sorry about that. But it will be close to 25-ish degree angle. So you won't lose your speed, and you will still regain the altitude. Next thing is the takeoff run, 303 meters. I do believe that 303 meters is with the full armament present, the heaviest armament present, and the maximum fuel amount in your tank. Next thing you see is the armaments present. It's two. Well, okay, I do see two things on my aircraft already. It's a 12.7 Browning machine gun and the two 20mm Hispano cannons. Well, that's not it. The actual armaments and the count of them you can see when you go through your weapons loadout, and as you can see here, it's the second loadout you get with the first one, the default one, is 2 machine guns, 2 cannons. The second one is 2 machine guns, 2 cannons, and 2 250-pound bombs. And you can always select it. Well, it's always a good option. Well, it's always an option, and it's always a good option whenever you are in the ground strike mission, and the last target to destroy is the, let's say, pillbox. It's always good to have some bombs strapped to your wings, because that Spitfire Mark 16 might be your last aircraft in your lineup for the battle, and you might want to just win the game for your team. So what would you do? You just select this lineup in the aircraft selection screen on your battle, and you just select this loadout with two 250-pound bombs, and those 250-pound bombs should be close to enough to destroy the pillbox. Well, to damage in the 50% with the 2 direct hits. Because to destroy the pillbox you need 1000-pound bomb close, or 500-pound bombs with the direct hit. Well, 500-pound of bombs is exactly what you are carrying, so if those two will hit, you might kill that last pillbox. If they don't, you will, only if one of those hit, you will damage it quite severely. So that's always an option for you, and always remember to check that out if you do have any other armaments present on some aircrafts. As you can see on my Spitfire Mark 5C, I don't get to choose any other armament. But there are some planes, well, especially the US is good at it. As you can see here in my P-47D Thunderbolt, I do have 4 different armaments. And going to my weapon loadouts, well, the default one is just the machine guns. Second one is 8 machine guns, 2 1000-pound bombs, and 1 500-pound bomb. The third one is the machine guns, bombs, and 10 rockets. Well, the last one is just the rockets. So always remember to, before the battle, as you, well, wherever you are fighting the fighter aircraft, and you do have some options for the weapon loadouts, always remember to see what would be the best loadout for that situation in that type of the mission. Sometimes you will go with the rockets to hunt some bombers, especially hard to kill bombers, or you might just want to go with the bombs if some well, if there is one or two ground targets present in the game, and you will be able to win the game by destroying it. So always, or if there are no ground targets like in the domination maps, no bombers to use the rockets on, you might only go with the machine guns, just straight away, just to score some hits, some kills. But let's get back to our British lineup and our Spitfire Mark 16. Some people were asking me in the live streams and here on the YouTube, is the actual weapon loadout and the fuel amount changing anything into the arcade games? And I do have to say, yes, it do change. Well, basically, whenever you are choosing other option of the weapons, well, let's say those 250-pound bombs, two of them. Okay, I will tell you about the example. On the example, let's say you are taking off from the airfield, and you do get those two 250-pound bombs, so that's an extra 500 pound on you, and you do select to fuel your aircraft to full as fuel amount for 1 hour and 3 minutes, so the full tank. Okay, I didn't want to go into the test flight. Okay, so that takeoff will take you about, well, let's say 10 seconds. Let me quit that. Quit mission. I don't want to be flying the test flight. This will take you 10 seconds with the full amount of fuel and the bombs present. But now let's consider the situation when you choose only your machine guns and cannons, well, your default choice, and you do set your fuel amount to 5 minutes. Where did that take you? How shorter your takeoff would be? Well, I would say that the takeoff in those circumstances will only take you 6 seconds. Those are not the exact numbers, so don't take my word on that. Those are just the examples on how well or the change of the performance of the aircraft. So now, your fuel amount and the armaments present will affect how well your aircraft will perform in the air. Those are not some big differences, as you can see it going down from 10 seconds, well, to 6 seconds is maybe a big difference, but it's not that much in the arcade battles. In the full real battles and in the historical battles, those things matters. How much fuel you're taking? Well, in the full real battles you get the full real flight simulator out of this game, so yeah, everything matters. But in the arcade, those differences are marginal, and you can easily go with the full armament on the aircraft, with the fuel tank, and you won't see that much of the difference. But as you know, for the arcade games, and as the wise man once said, every little bit helps. Go with the armament you only need for the mission. Don't overweight your aircraft. Go with the, well, I'm usually going with the 10 minutes of the fuel time, and that's only the reason it's the 10 minutes, not the 5 minutes. You might ask, what's the difference after the change in the 1.27 patch? Well, there's some still a situation when the enemy will put just one small hole in your tank and you will start losing the fuel. And there is always present the thing that this leak will be plugged by your pilot, or it will plug itself. And the longest leak after the patch 1.27 I found was close to also 7 minutes, just right before patch. So going for 10 minutes give you that option to go back to get to the safer location, maybe to land on your airfield and try to repair your aircraft. So we do have our weapons, we do have our aircraft. What I do suggest you do whenever you get a new aircraft to your lineup, to your garage, I would suggest you go for the test flight. Like I did before, by accident, I do really suggest you do it, just to see how well the aircraft performs in the air, how well it turns, how well it maneuvers, what's their ups and downs of this aircraft. Will it lose speed and altitude in the turns? How well it will perform on the lower altitudes? Will it be struggling to keep the minimum altitude of, let's say, 50 meters above the ground, or it will be stable at this altitude? You can always check that out in the test flight, and I do recommend whenever you buy a new aircraft, go for some test flights. Well, one test flight would be more than enough, I think. So okay, we did talk about the stats, we talked about the armaments, we did talk about the test flight. Last thing to say, it's about crew. Well, it's always about the crew. Well, I do say the most important thing for the fighters is the reload speed. It's not the repair speed, it's not the repair rank, it's not even the pilot skills with the keen vision, visibility, G tolerance, stamina and vitality. No, I would say it's the reload speed. Because in the battle, the thing that counts whenever you're flying the fighter is how much damage you can put out to the enemy team in the shorter amount of time. And you won't be putting out this damage whenever you will reloading your cannons. Well, I do say cannons for the higher tier aircrafts, but even for the low tier aircrafts like the, well, Hurricane Mark II with 8 7.7 machine guns, you will be wasting your potential in the air by just waiting 20 or 30 seconds to reload your guns. So I do believe and I do think that the reload speed for the crew skills is the most important thing for the pilot, for the fighter pilot. After that, you can go for whatever pilot skill you like. Well, investing some points in it would be a good idea, just to get to the qualification level of the expert. But always remember that you won't be spotting the enemy aircrafts. You don't need to see them because someone from your team will be seeing them. So your visibility is not that important. Then the G tolerance, I would say, well, that's the second most important thing for the fighter pilot, because the amount of the G forces you will be experiencing during the combat, well, let's say every turn could be in the end up in the blackout. So remember about this. As a fighter, focus on reload speed. It's your job to put the damage to the enemy team and to put it as fast and as accurate as you can. Well, going for the accuracy, you can always change it in the gun's targeting distance. But remember what I did say previously in my videos, the gun's targeting distance is only for the machine guns. Your cannons will perform as well at the distance of close to 800 meters, as well as they will perform at the range of 100 meters. It doesn't matter what distance you're shooting with your guns. The gun's targeting distance is only for your machine guns. So as you can see here, for my Spitfire, I do have 2 machine guns present. So that's why I do choose to this distance of 600 meters. Well, I'm now getting a better feeling of the game, and I'm getting a bit slightly better at it. So I'm just starting to considering to change it to 500 or 400 meters. Because it's easier for me to get on the enemy tail. I do have the better understanding of the game, and I've accomplished that just by playing the game. So it's not some magic trick, nothing like this. So guys, we did talk about the weapons, we did talk about the crew skills, we did talk about the aircrafts, their stats, the armaments, the test flight. Well, that would be everything except for the game. Well, let me get myself into one of those games, and I will start recording. I will stop the video now because I don't know whatever the game I will get myself into. So that said, let's go for the battle. So after the short break we get ourselves into Ground Strike Alpine Meadows mission, and that's the first mission whenever I hit the battle button after I did finish recording the tutorial tips for the fighters. I did press battle and I get into that mission. Well, let's see how well or how bad I will do in it. I will start with my Typhoon, just by the fact it's one of my new aircrafts at tier 13. I just recently bought it. It do have 4 cannons, which will be more than perfect to count any enemy bombers, and they do have some bombers in here. Hankels, S-79, Wellington, Year 2, TU-2S, KI-49. Well, there are plenty of them, and someone is shooting at me. Tank T-81, is that you? Okay, so at first let's get some altitude. We'll get to the altitude of the bombers, and let's see if their fighters will provide any cover for them. Let me just see what we have here. TU-2 is down here, A-20G here. Well, A-20G isn't my primary target, they are the long-range bombers. And it seems they are all going to the left side. Okay, I will go first after the... Well, Hanko is flying first, so a couple of shots into him. Then I will switch to I-15 because he's the most immediate threat to me. Or maybe to the Wellington. Critical hits, so let's get back to the Hanko 111. Okay, speed up a bit in here. Are you going into the dive bombing? Okay, my second kill here. Now I will just reload because most of my ammunition were depleted. with those two bombers, and I should be reloaded for that S-79 over there. I won't be going after this SB because he's way too low for me. Okay, 3 more seconds and I'm reloaded just in time for that S-79. He did suffer a damage to the cooling system. So let's finish up the job. Okay, aircraft destroyed. So let's go after year 2. So that's my 3rd kill. Okay, 4th kill. And again I will go for reload, because I don't see, well, this F2A isn't the immediate threat. And I do believe, well, I will be able to go after this KI-49. No, 8 seconds. Oh, okay, let's try. No, he's down. Okay. What do we have here? F3 closing in on our teammate. Okay, no luck in here. Yak 1, straight pass. Okay, he's down. There's all kinds of screw right now. Okay, LA5 over there. I don't want to be going after him alone. So let me just gain some speed, some more speed. DF-109G. Not mine concern at the moment. DPF is down. Okay. So let's start regaining some altitude. And let's see if there's any other bombers in here. Well, LA5 is premium one and the normal one are way too far. I could use that time to reload. 25 seconds of reload time isn't that great. I do need to work on this reload speed of mine. Okay, I can start closing in on them. 5 seconds more to reload. And I'm reloaded. Okay, KF-49 high in the sky, and S-79 pick up 2 tails, so now I won't be going after them. Let me see about this KF-49. Can I do something about them? And the game is almost over. They did manage to destroy most of our ground targets. And yeah, we lost the game. So let's see how well or how bad we did in the game. Well, I did only score 4 kills. Oh, 5 kills, sorry. But as you can see, I didn't lose any aircraft. No ground targets destroyed, only the air targets. And that put me on the 1st place on my team with the silly score thing. But let's see how well we do in the credits and the experience. Well, credits, 10,000 credits, not that bad considering I didn't lose any aircraft and I do only have 5 kills. 20,000, oh, well, close to 21,000 experience with the awards of the fighter, destroying most air targets, and survivor, which is the destroying most air targets without losing an aircraft. That's 5,000 experience. That's a very nice bonus here. So yeah, credits and experience for the game short as that, with the 5 kills, 10,000 credits, considering that wasn't the premium aircraft I was flying. That was my standard Typhoon. There will be probably some more credits if I would be flying the Typhoon, the gift one. No, no, you have the same bonus. Oh well. But for this Typhoon, let's see how well. What was the economics say about it? Defeating the ground strike. Well, as you can see, I didn't pay a single penny in the repair or with the rearming my aircraft. So that's a good thing. So yeah, there's 10,000 credits, 20,000 experience in just a fast game. Remember, as a fighter, at the ground strike mission especially, you should focus first on the bombers. They are an easy kill for the fighter. They bring you good experience, good credits, and most of the time, as you can see here, a couple of short bursts of fire will be more than enough to destroy them. And you can always outmaneuver them. You will always have the superior speed over them. Well, maybe except for the German Ardo, the jet bomber. But in the most cases, you will have the upper hand in any engagement with the bomber. And in the ground strike especially, remember to take out the bombers. Don't always just go low, killing other fighters, because those long-range bombers will win the game for you. Well, in that case, that game, some attack bombers, attack fighters went down. There wasn't any protection from them. Our team wasn't hunting them as well as they probably should. I might say, on my part, I do my job. I was there was two of us in the high sky, in the high altitude, and we did our job. I did 5 kills, 5 long-range bombers, well, 4 long-range bombers, one normal aircraft. That's it. So guys, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. I do hope you will like the video and you will press this little like button, the OK sign for whatever it is. I do hope you will subscribe to my channel. I am getting close to 50 subscriptions, so that's a very cool thing. I wasn't expecting that much of attention to my channel, to be honest with you. Next thing to come will be some more fighters. I will be going after some stuff considering fighters. I do have few ideas. I do need to put them into the video, and I do need to see how well it will work. I do have some plans for other videos in the nearest future. The next video will be coming up, I do believe, on Monday evening, because on the weekend I do have to take the weekend off from gaming, from work, from everything, and I'm just going away. So the next video will be on Monday, guys. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to post them down below. I will be more happy to answer you. And that would be it for today. Thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and Iron Rifle out.